Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today we're going to be doing second half of our video for our what solds, which would be this past weekend, Friday to Sunday, July 25th to the 27th. Sales were lackluster. It's kind of funny doing this video though, because we did our first live show on our other channel today, and these were the things that we were shipping during that channel, during that show. So it was just kind of, usually I'm a week, ahead of what I'm sharing with you guys. So yeah,
But
eBay.
thank you all for everybody that showed up today and the ones that are going to watch it later. We appreciate it. We had a pretty good show. Had questions and comments and stuff, and we enjoy that. Just being able to interact in a more real time basis that way. It's always fun. And
Lots of friends showed up.
And we forgot to say during the show, tell us what you're liking about what we're doing in those videos,
yeah.
and let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. What do you want to see? Because we enjoy just the interaction back and forth, and we're happy to accommodate changes that y'all like to see in it to make it more enjoyable.
Yep.
And so that was today, the 28th, in a week it would be the 35th of July. So it's got 31. So the 4th of August, we won't be live that day. Right. We normally would be, but we're going to be out of town in New York. Actually, be in Ohio that day.
We'll have already been to New York and heading home. So
a couple people have said they want to meet up with us up in Rochester at the Bends and in the Ohio Bends. So if you do, let us know, and we'll let you know when we're going to be there. And we'll hang out at the Bends or go grab some lunch or supper, depending on what it is and what day it is and where we're at.
Yep, where we are in our journey home.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, we really appreciate those of you that showed up for the live.
So don't forget to hit the click. Don't forget to hit the click. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to hit the like button and drop a comment and let us know what you think.
Or an emoji. Emojis are fine. We like emojis. All right, so let me go ahead and show you what sold on Etsy and eBay. Like I said, sales are lackluster. But we're coming off vacation and we're getting ready to go into vacation. So,
yeah. And rumor has it we might go on another sourcing trip at the end of August, which would be fun, in Nebraska. So we're going to see about going there.
We're going to check and see if we can fit it in. So, I said at the beginning of the year, less work, more travel. But work while we travel, because sourcing is the fun part. So, yeah. And then when we get back, we're going to try to get our first whatnot set up pretty quickly. That's what you're seeing back here is all the stuff so far. But, I have totes that way and I have totes this way. So I've really been trying to hopefully figure out what is going to sell well on whatnot also. Let me go ahead. We'll start with Etsy. I had 2 sales there. Lackluster on eBay, and then we did have 2 sales on the new store. First thing that sold on Etsy was this Thai classic Perkins the puppy dog from 2000, sold for $17.95. I had the paper tag, but I removed it to clean him, and then I just add it back without even reattaching. I have one of those little tagger guns, but if somebody really wants it reattached, they can.
You just put it in the bag.
I just include it in the bag, yes. And then this was a nice sale. This was the game Robert picked up. I want to say this was at Nashville. It was the Mystery Mansion from 1984. I painstakingly checked to make sure we had all the pieces and parts. And it sold on Etsy for $80.95. I think that was actually my best sell of the weekend. And then on eBay, not a lot to share, but some. I just showed this in a haul recently. It is a ragdoll Booba pink animated plush. Now, I think when I showed you guys it in the haul, it sold for like $25, maybe closer to $30. But mine had some stains that just did not come off when I tried to spot clean it. So I just decided to list it lower. Y'all, it sold almost immediately. $16. Tennessee Teddy's Brown Lucinda Bear. Been listed forever. So, at this point, whatever I can get on this old stuff, I'm game, except for not $1. But this one ended up selling for $10. Brown Rabbit Lubby by M2I International sold for $11.66. Took a year. Jan Van Hasteren comic puzzle. We picked up a bunch of these at a churchyard sale for 50 cents each. This was probably one of the first ones that we did from that lot. We're working on a 2,000 piece puzzle right now. That's too much. I don't want to do any more 2,000 piece puzzles.
You usually do it. You usually do them as a 1,500 or 1,000 piece puzzle because you wait until that much.
I
of
wait
it's done.
till, yeah, Robert's got a lot of it sorted, and then I'll come in and start helping place. This puzzle ended up selling for $20.20, but it was a very quick sale. I think we picked these up at an estate sale not too long ago. I listed it in May. This was Disney wooden puzzles from 1961. The character is Ludwig von Drake, and they sold for $35. Hallmark Chief Joseph plush doll. I like character plush. I like historical character plush. I'm going to tend to pick it up even if it's going to sell for lower dollar stuff. This one sold for $7.50. Whitman Rummy Royal Deluxe board game, 1981. Let's see, no cards. Somewhere box has wear and damage. You know, not in the greatest condition, but I have found some of these older games like this, the Rummy Royal, the Tripoli, those types, they just tend to still sell. I think, you know, nostalgia. People want the exact game board they had as a child when they played it at their grandmother's house and with their cousins. Yeah, that was real life for us. We loved to play games when we all got together. And this sold for $17.95. Fiesta, not a brand I pick up very much anymore. This took forever to sell. It was a little huggy elephant, and it sold for $8.05. Walmart brown plush with the little Kiss Me Red heart sold for $8.96. I still have 2 available of these. Luckily, I was paying attention because Robert pulled all 3 of them. I had them all in one bag. And without paying attention, he just grabbed the whole bag and took it. So, I'm kind of glad I was watching and helping him do shipping today.
Why is that bus driving through our property?
Huh?
Oh, that's right. You were just throwing me under it.
But still, luckily I was paying attention. You probably would have caught it, don't you think?
I'm assuming that you are assuming that I wouldn't have, and you're just trying to rescue me now. But honestly, I probably would have caught it when I went to ship it.
Because I had written on the SKU tag, sold separately. It has bit me in the butt before, though, because I'm pretty sure I sold something one time, and they got 2 of them. And isn't it funny? They never tell you that you sent them something extra. This was a pickup, I think, when we went out to Nashville for the reseller meetup. This was a Jellycat chicken rooster plush. You know, a lot of the Jellycats don't sell for a whole lot. I was hoping this one would do better, but at least it sold very, very quickly. $17.95. Levi's women's 515 jeans sold for $14.17. Barney Baby Bop Sea Life Creature Cookie Cutters. I picked these up, I want to say, at a yard sale or something last summer. So they've been listed quite a while. I got a $10 offer on them, and I went ahead and accepted it. Moulinex La Machine food processor, pieces and parts. We're not doing a whole lot of that anymore. But this, just the one chopping blade, sold for $12.95. Silver women's jeans, capris, with a belt sold for $17.71. Abercrombie and Fitch women's shorty shorts sold for $13.21. I picked these up a long time ago at my favorite little estate sale company. I just really thought they would sell quicker, but I think this was the last one, but I had bought like 6 sets of these. They are Christmas around the world, little tree ornaments like starbursts covered in glitter. Glitter everywhere. We went to lunch after we had done shipping and I realized I had glitter all over my forehead where I touched the box. So yeah, I'm glad they're gone. You know, I've slowly but surely been combining a lot of my dish sets into lots. This was Imperial by W. Dalton. The series is called Tangerine. This was the end. The last set of these plates was a lot of 3 and they sold for $31.45. Abercrombie and Fitch Destroyed jeans. I don't use Destroyed as much as I used to because a lot of times this is intentional distress. At first when we started doing this, I thought Destroyed was like when it was like holy, but it's still, a lot of them are intentionally that way. So I've started backing away more from Destroyed and just using it distressed. But these sold for $13.21. IKEA Hedgehog Hand Puppet sold for $10.76. Flowers Bakery. The rabbit's name is Bucky. I think it's Flowers by Bakery or something like that. Let me look real quick. Flowers, no, bakeries. Bread babies. I didn't even use all those words. I should have. Been listed forever. Sold for $15.25. Advertising plush. Tokidoki. Robert found these at the bins. He had no clue what they were. And as soon as I told him, I said, please go see if you can find any more in that bin. I think you ended up finding a couple more, right? He brought like 1 to me. I knew these tend to sell very well. They were probably from blind bags, but I just listed them like earlier this week. Well, July 20th. Yeah, so just last week. And they sold for $26.95. Disney Figaro from Pinocchio plush sold for $10. Hey Diddle Diddle light switch cover. It was wooden, kind of interesting looking. Sold for $13. Just listed this and it sold almost immediately. Fisher-Price Loving Family, the blue twin doll sold for $10.49. Banana Republic women's ruffled front blouse sold for $12.01. American Eagle women's pants sold for $15.94. Disney Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs Dopey figure from 2009. These were so cute. I wish I had a whole set of them. I just think they're adorable. $10.36. Fun Flash women's dress. Oh, this was the 788th clothing item that we listed. We're in the 4,000s now, just to give you perspective. Probably something we won't pick up anymore. But it's, you know, like on eBay, everything eventually sells. $21.57. Build-A-Bear, little mini beans, axolotl, pink plush, sold for $14.36. This was a really nice sell and a very quick sell. I just listed it earlier this month, July 17th. I want to say this was a Ben's pickup. I have only found this one time before, and I do not think I had the leash that went to it. This is by Cat Toys is the brand. The series is called Tuggles. There's different colored dogs from 1996. And it sold in, you know, less than 2 weeks for $49.95. I think it's got little rubber feet, and when you pull on the leash, it like makes it you know, like kind of hop across the floor. And then this was an interesting sell. I've said this many times. If you find vintage vinyl baby bibs, definitely check comps. I pick up any and all that I can find, especially the ones that are by Play School. This one wasn't. It just had this little cute, you know, hot, you know, the hot colors of, right, like neon colors. That's what I'm saying. Little baby deer. And it sold in about 2 months, $22.45. All right, and then the two that sold on the other store. The first thing that sold were these American Eagle men's jeans, and they sold for $19. And then the other ones that sold were Levi's women's bootcut jeans, sold for $17.71. So the store is slowly but surely, you know, we're not one a day yet, but we're getting, you know, 3 or 4, 5 maybe a week. So it's growing. I want to say 200 items. So it's been slow. I'm only adding like 3 or 4 a day. I'm not really trying to grow really big fast. I'm just building.
We're still limited to 250.
Yes. I've not gone through the process, so I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get the limits listed. You know, I'm going to just do this slowly for another month, and then that will be like, I don't know how many months, 2.5 months or so. And maybe by then eBay will be ready to bump us up. I'll just have to wait and see.
Because you've not built a store like this, because you've been on eBay since
Forever.
Since they were trading chickens or something,
Yeah,
right?
before there were stores, and you know, where everything was an auction.
Money
you took
orders.
money orders and checks and waited till they cleared. All of that stuff. Yeah. All right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't think I'm going to record any more videos before we go on this trip, so I'm going to have a nice little break and just focus on getting stuff processed so I have stuff to list while we're gone. All right, it's time to get to work. Bye.